furious as the diver sped away. There was nothing he could do to save his precious son. Their boat raced off so quickly that a diver's mask fell overboard. Marlin rushed to a busy underwater road to get help. "Has anybody seen a boat?" he cried. A blue tang named Dory told him that she had seen a boat. However, Dory had a very bad memory. 1 minute later, she couldn't even remember why Marlin was following her or who he even was. Confused, Marlin turned to swim away, only to meet a huge shark. He was called Bruce, and he was trying to be a vegetarian. He wanted Marlin and Dory to meet his like-minded buddies. Dory, who was as enthusiastic as she was forgetful, thought it was a wonderful idea. A terrified Marlin did not. The self-help sharks held their meetings in a wrecked submarine. As they spoke, Marlin spotted the diver's mask. Dory wanted to show it to the sharks, but Marlin didn't. As they tussled, Dory bumped her nose and it bled a little. Bruce got a sudden craving for a fish dinner. As Dory and Marlin tried to escape, a nearby underwater minefield exploded. Meanwhile, Nemo found himself in a dentist's fish tank in Sydney. The other fish, Bubbles, Peach, Jacques, Bloat, Deb, Gurgle, and Gil, their leader, were thrilled to meet a fish from the open sea. Later, Nemo learned that he was to be a present for the dentist's niece, Darla. "She's a fish killer," whispered Peach. To become a member of their group, Nemo had to swim through the Ring of Fire, which was really just a stream of bubbles. Nemo bravely swam through them. Afterward, Gil announced Nemo would be known as Shark Bait. Next, he revealed his plan to escape from the tank. Little Nemo would use a pebble to jam the filter that kept the tank clean. When the dentist took the fish out to clean it, they'd escape down the drain. Back in the ocean, Dory had dropped the mask into a deep trench. She and Marlin swam after it and ran into an anglerfish. Suddenly, Dory remembered she could read. There was an address on the mask. They quickly escaped and set off to find Nemo. Marlin told Dory he was going to Sydney on his own. "You mean you don't like me?" Dory asked. A school of moonfish rushed over and were angry with Marlin for upsetting Dory. The moonfish told Dory how to get to Sydney. "When you come to a trench, swim through it, not over it." Tales of Marlin's adventures were spreading far and wide. Nigel, a friendly pelican who knew the tank gang, eventually heard the stories and rushed to tell Nemo the incredible news. Nemo was amazed. He had always thought his dad was a bit of a scaredy fish. The thought that he was battling his way to Sydney filled the little fish with pride. Inspired by his dad's bravery, Nemo was determined to escape. To his friend's horror, Nemo darted into the filter and successfully jammed it. Everyone cheered. The tank water was soon slimy and green. The dentist was going to have to clean the tank before Darla arrived. Back in the ocean, Marlin and Dory said goodbye to the turtles, but soon found themselves inside the mouth of a massive whale. It turned out the whale was only giving the two brave little fish a lift. They were soon squirted out of the whale's blowhole, right into Sydney Harbor. They nearly ended up as a seagull's breakfast, but Nigel rushed to their rescue. The pelican snatched them up, filled his beak with some water, and took off. The hungry seagulls followed, but Nigel played a trick on them, and the seagulls flew right into the boat's sail. turning upside down. The dentist quickly shooed Nigel away, but in the commotion, he dropped Nemo and the bag burst open. As Darla reached out to grab him, Gil flipped himself onto the tray beside Nemo. He then smacked a dental mirror, catapulting Nemo into the spit sink. The little fish escaped down the drain. Back in the harbor, Nigel dropped Dory and Marlin into the sea. Marlin was heartbroken and swam off to be on his own. Nemo soon met Dory. She knew she had to reunite Nemo with his dad. Together, they swam after Marlin as fast as Nemo's little fins would let them. There was a happy reunion between Marlin and Nemo. Marlin realized that even though Nemo was a little fish, he was capable